Hey guys, it's Zane, and today I want to show you guys this custom LEGO fire brush truck. Now this particular rig is inspired by a Skeeter built truck, a Skeeter built rear here, and then I think it's a Ford F550 or F450 front end. This was my first major experience building in 5 wide, and I'm very happy with the result, so let's dive into some details about it. The front end of this truck is got a factory body and then a add-on bumper, so it's kind of a rounded up shape is what it's supposed to imitate, and then I've used some minifigure hand clips to kind of protect the headlights. I also have lights in the grille. I actually originally started with red and blue, but I switched them all out for red. The cab is actually a very interesting section of the build because I don't really like it when people build 5 wide and they just kind of have the 4 wide cabin, and it ends up just feeling really square and blocky. It feels like the side goes jut, jut, jut. It feels like there's like this weird aqua jut. So I like to put a round shape to the A-pillars, and I also like to angle these rear windows. Now it's better to put the hinge in the wall, but because of the color scheme didn't allow for that, so instead I did this. You can kind of see that. This ended up working out very well. The only thing that sucks is they're kind of just sunk in a little too far. The other side effect is this can't actually seat 2 minifigures. It just literally is not possible for this truck. But it gets the look across, and I like it. Now the equipment compartments were a whole nother challenge. As one thing you'll probably notice is that this is all sideways built. Also this top is actually a half stud set off, because if you consider this piece, that's about a half a brick, a stud width. But then there's no other half stud compensation for it, so this whole top is actually kind of off. Technically though it does end properly, because this piece is actually back on the stud grid, but it isn't connected. This whole truck, there's actually a good weak spot in the middle. Now, like I like to do, these equipment compartments are functional, except for the middle one. The structural area is in there, and there's just no good way to make it functional. But these front and rear ones are functional. This one doesn't go in as far because there had to be a mounting bracket in the top. And there's no good way to really build equipment compartments or storage in these without basically sacrificing any actual real storage ability. So right now there's just kind of tools just kind of piled in. They open on both sides. They're actually just free floating in these kind of sideways and upside down and right way up built frames. But what makes it so they can't pull out too far is there's actually a string in there. So if I pull on this, there's string on both sides. This also means when you tilt the vehicle to its side, maybe the other side will do it for me. Yeah, you can see that they can come out, but they can't fall out all the way. So it helps to keep the doors mounted in during transport and such. The rear of the rig has the small pump section. On the actual vehicle I used to model this off of, there was a bit more of a cutout around this whole thing, and there was probably more visible space for the water tank. But the layout geometry to make these compartments functional and have space, and for that to actually happen, just didn't work out. So I went with this little ungraded pump section. It kind of cuts in the compartment, and on top there's actually enough space underneath the spare tire. There could be a actual water tank in there, or foam tank. This is a hitch point for a trailer. Yes, I know it's not LEGO standard hitch. I had to flip this out because LEGO's standard hitch can't fit in that space. It just doesn't. There was no way to make it work, if I remember correctly. There is space in there, but not in the way I need. So I instead went with this. The top of the truck contains a spare tire, a couple cones, the hose reel. These are some form of pressurized tank, I'm not sure. These are just mounting points, rails for these side rails. This is meant to be a hose lay, but you can see it's interrupted in the middle by a support bracket because this whole truck is kind of weak in the middle. Okay, there we go. You see that? There's really only a connection point at the bottom. Technically speaking, I know some purists are going to say that's not really a legal connection. It's not really sturdy. You can see there's a gap in that bracket. I couldn't figure out any other way to connect these two halves together as of right now though. So I decided that that's how I was going to do it. So yes, this truck is kind of weak. It does hold itself together, but under stress it will fail. Alright, well that's it. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned because more videos on the way very soon. Bye for now.